Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Welcome back to Let's Play Kingsfield for the Ancient City, everyone. I put this LP on the back burner for a little while Dark Souls 3 was ongoing, but now that that's done, we can get back into the Ancient City. What we're going to work towards today is getting to the Widow's Fortress. The Widow, if you don't remember, are the snake-headed people. Grave misfortune befalls he who beholds the idol that stares into the darkness. The altar became the gateway to evil. Notice this game is kind of riddled with typos like that. The idol of sorrow that we are carrying back to its altar in the ancient city. In case you've kind of forgotten where we're at, I don't blame you, it has been a little bit. So if I remember right, we should have a release rock to open this door up. Just behind this door, there are a shit ton of xenomorphs. I think there's just gonna be like, yeah. Oh, it was a nice double hit too. Yeah, the earth elemental ones. I think that's what that is. It's upheaval or something. Nice, nice. 2-for-1 special. So I think there's gonna be a couple more around the corner. No? Oh no, I remember how this is. It's 3 at first, and then there's another wave of like 3 or 4 waiting around the corner. That if you charge into this room stupidly, you get to fight like 6-on-1. Which, if you remember, Kingsfield 4 has like the slowest turning camera of all time. So it's really not to your advantage to be fighting groups that big. For a while I was doing Dark Souls 3, and I was thinking about the return episode for Kingsfield, I was thinking about just restarting the playthrough on an emulator, just so I could maybe jerry-rig like a faster camera turn speed or something, but it sounds like too much work. It's too much work just for that one little quality of life change. Although it wouldn't just be a quality of life change for me, I guess it would be for everyone. It's so slow. The sun rises and sets in the time it takes to turn around. So this is a nasty little trap room. There are 3 things in it. There's 2 chests and 1 magic crystal. One of the chests is locked. This one has another keystone. Remember, back in the central towers, it raises and lowers all those drawbridges, the release rocks, not the release rocks, the keystones do. So not exactly that essential. It can be convenient to open up a couple of shortcuts, non-essential ones though. We're gonna, oh, hey, little xenomorph got his way down here. So this room, as soon as you drop into it, fills up with ghosts. So many, in fact, that it's kind of not worth fighting them, since you can kind of just get in and out. So, if I didn't say so before, it's been a while, so I don't remember. The soundtrack to this game, which I understand has kind of been divisive. A lot of people are digging it, a lot of people are kind of saying, wow, it's tonally a little bit dissonant. But it was composed by Tsukasa Saito, and the soundtrack for the previous 3 Kingsfield were all Koji Endo, who I once mistook for Koji Kondo, who's a very different and much more famous composer. I don't know, this is... I kind of agree with the people who say that most of the soundtrack is totally dissonant from the emotional content of the game and the atmosphere they're shooting for. There are some cases where I've said this before, but it adds that, that alien feeling to it, kind of like Metroid Prime's soundtrack. So I do like it within the context of the game sometimes. More so than that, I do like this soundtrack just on its own merits, though. It's the kind of soundtrack that I could just put on in the background, independent of the game, and just listen through. So, succeeds in a few ways, fails in a couple of others. Some herbal liquid in there. Not sure that's completely worth it, because the next chance that I get, I'm going to stock up back at a merchant. I still haven't done that off camera. There are a couple of instances where I'm going to have to go teleporting around anyway. So, once I do have to make the first couple of teleports, or once I do have to start backtracking, I'll probably go hit up the blacksmith, do a little bit of upgrading and repairing, refill my crystal vials back at the MP refilling spring. Maybe do a little bit of selling and trading at a merchant. I think there's actually one coming up in the next area though, so I'm not too worried about that. If I was a little more confident with my aim, I could fireball the explosive barrel. All the Xenos are kind of clustered up around this ledge anyway, so I'm not sure if the explosion would even reach them. Oh, I landed on his head. Too bad there's no plunging attack. Even in kind of the Kingsfield spiritual reboot, Demon Souls, there still wasn't a plunging attack yet that didn't get added until Dark Souls 1. Nothing of interest in there. What about chest? Oh, yeah, really cool looking shield, which I think is actually better than the shield I currently have. It's better than that. It's better than the flame shield. If you've noticed, I tend to only put my equipment on, like I only change things out in bursts. So I usually wait till I hit a save point, because that process of like comparing stats can take a minute. And since there's not really much going on in the way of Fashion Souls, I tend to just go by armor stats. For once. There's some slight Fashion Souls, but that's only when you're in the menu. Specifically on the equip screen. What the hell is the Xeno doing? God, I forgot how weird this game's pathing and AI can be. We're playing a dangerous game, doing another turn around to inspect the environment. But, it's worth it. It's worth taking the time to turn around really slow-like. And we finally come back around. We've wrapped around to where we started the episode off with the save statue and open up a shortcut back to it. Oops. What I was trying to show is you can see there's a window with a chest. I believe that's might be an illusory wall. But you get a really nice hint that there's an illusory wall around, so you don't have to just rub your face up against every wall in this room. Probably cause some people motion sickness that way. And it's a yellow guide stone. So we have the red, green, and blue guide stones that we got a while back. And we got the red, green, and blue wands in the mausoleum, I think? Somewhere around there. If I had Endure Fire, if I had found that spell, I probably would go for this. But I don't feel confident that I have the timing down, and it's just a spell that I don't particularly need. I just want to show that it's there. So yeah, we have the red, green, and blue wands and guide stones for teleporting around. We now found the yellow guide stone, but we don't have a yellow wand yet. Also, that's like the ice or wind equivalent to the black scar we got in the forge. That I think is called the crystalline blade. And since my durability on the black scar is probably starting to get a little bit low, it's probably starting to affect the stats a little bit, I might go ahead and put the crystalline blade on. So we'll be getting the yellow wand for the yellow guide stone up ahead. It's not gonna be like the RGB wands. Instead, we're gonna buy it from a merchant, if I remember right. So I want to make sure I save a little bit of money when I go shopping later. Was it like 2,000 or 3,000 gold? Something like that. Let's see. So we're gonna come around here, and since we have like, we have a surplus of keystones right now, so we can actually do a little bit of drawbridge raising and lowering if we want. And since at least a couple of these are valuable shortcuts, yeah, it's worthwhile. Worth doing. Worth using a few of these. And this not only gives us access, again, to the central tower in the ziggurat. From here, we actually get a really valuable shortcut. We actually get a couple things. We get another save room for one. We get a teleport pedestal that we can put one of our guide stones in, and I'm gonna use the green one here. I think I have the blue one. Yeah, I have the blue one back in the wellspring back in the forest, if I remember that right. So we can get around pretty efficiently. I should still remember to use the red one at some point. When I go back to the dwarf, I'll probably put it in the pedestal near him, since I'll be going back there pretty frequently. The other thing that you get from that room, you can also go upstairs to the room with the map of all the spells on the wall, and that gives you access back to like the top level of the tower, like really quick access. So there's a path there. We're gonna ignore that for a moment and go instead into the caverns over here. And again, another teleporter glyph. Hey, there we go, pay dirt. That is release rock, which I think we need 2 of. Well, we'll be getting the other one in due time. There we go, I didn't mess the timing up that time. So this is just a regular old chest with a regular old herbal liquid in it. Never really a bad thing. There's another chest in this room over there. That's... what is it? Not forest folk. An engineer chest? I remember we had most of those big keys, like the priest chest and whatever the other ones are. I think the engineering key, or the engineer's key, is the one that we have left to collect. And we'll be getting that, I think, before the end of the video today. Be getting it pretty shortly. And remember, there are all those locked chests back in the forest by the wellspring. Hey, here's the merchant. Real quick. Oh no, I thought there was supposed to be an upgrade stone here. Doesn't matter that much. I'm a traveling merchant. Anything you need? Yeah, but first we're gonna close that out so we can get more dialogue. It's a sea of fire. Was walking, I suddenly became lost. Cavern seems to have been created by monsters. It's a big nest. Okay, let's do some shopping. I'll kind of speed this up or cut ahead or something. Alright, I'm well furnished now, and I am well equipped. I took a second to swap out some equipment for some new stuff that I picked up recently. Hey, it's our good old friends, the roly-polies. Aw, they barely do any damage now. Look at that, so cute. So I'm rocking the crystalline blade now. I'm rocking some blessed items, that purple and silver kite shield we picked up with a cool sigil on it. And we come to a little bit of a mini-boss. Mini-boss that's one of the easier ones we fought in the game so far. Really not dangerous at all, but very, very tedious. This is going to be the whole cycle of the fight. Kingsfield 4, I don't personally think is renowned for having particularly good boss fights. We're gonna get to some much worse ones, like the next 3 in a row are all fucking awful. But this one is just kind of boring. Oh, thank God, it's finally dead. That was a fine waste of a couple of minutes. 411 gold and magic. Is that an earth spell? No, like, wait, no, we got the light spell from the ghost room. So yeah, that was the earth crystal. I think that might teach you Earth Leech, which is not a spell that I'm particularly gonna use a lot. I don't know, Kingsfield does some weird stuff with its upgrade system that kind of discourages variety. Because just like the weapons, the more you use a spell, the more upgraded it becomes. Like if you use one spell over and over and over again, it eventually reaches level 2, level 3, and so on. Like my Earth Heal, because I've had it bound to select for so long, it's now level 2. Like I think my Fireball is close to level 3 at this point. And that's because those 2 spells are all I've been using. I think there are technically more powerful magics, but the game doesn't do a good job of encouraging you to switch to them, because then you've kind of, I don't know, it's a sunk cost thing. It almost feels like you've spent all this time kind of working on leveling one thing up, and then you just switch to another. And you're kind of abandoning all the work that you put into one spell. Okay, so next up we're gonna tackle the Sea of Flame. You can see all those faces down there spitting out flaming arrows. So we're gonna drop down, take very minor amounts of damage. Those disembodied knights, they are a problem. Oh, not if that happens though. That's nice. They will reanimate continuously. I think by the end of this, once you deactivate this trap, they'll stop respawning, but I can't quite remember. I got clipped. This room is a little bit hectic, just because it's hard to put them down permanently. So you have 3 of them wandering around harassing you while you just try to pick all this shit out of the wall. Oh, and some of the walls are traps, I forgot about that. Some of them have spear traps. But there is a reason to come in here and do this, aside from just a couple of collectibles, a couple of restoratives. Remember that one was a trap. This is why, because you need this other release rock. This is the second one that you need. Well, now that we have that, this whole section becomes much easier. There's not too much that we have to deal with from here on out, except for one insanely hard boss. But I don't think that's for a little while still. That one will pop up. Yes, he will. You can delay him a little bit. Like, you could still crumple them for a good, I don't know, what was that, 5 seconds or so? I think I'm gonna go through, is it this door? Yeah, it is. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, might as well do this first. That sealed door reminded me of something. That boss I was just talking about, it's not as far away as I thought it is. Shit. Really not looking forward to it. So we want to come in here and light this brazier. Because the glow of the fire in this room gives you a hint. Only one of these masks glows blue, and once you destroy it, all of the other masks disappear, which is what stops the masks in the central foyer room from spitting flaming arrows. So we've now disabled that trap. We can cross across that section without getting lit up. So there's that to do, but there's also this. Something that we can't really ignore, unfortunately. As much as I would like to, I hate this boss. First, though, we got a couple of lackeys. So for the time being, that door is sealed off, so we need to come in here and kill this boss before the seal becomes broken. They still exist, the remnant of the forest folk, referring to us, the player. So yeah, this boss does a lot of shit. He summons a bunch of spears from the walls, which is very hard to avoid those. Oh shit. He gets arrows to orbit him, and like even circle strafing or just strafing away, they could still be a little bit hard to avoid if you're too close to him. He casts a spell on you that prevents you from casting magic. He does that. He tries to crush you against the ceiling by making the floor raise and lower, which conveniently can also come up underneath him and make it impossible for you to hit him. I think he just cast darkness on me. So awesome status effects, tons of damage coming at you that's really hard to avoid. And it's not always easy to hit him. Fuck. And whenever you take falling damage, you're slowed down for a while. And he's got a lot of HP. This isn't a quick and dirty boss. This is slow and dirty. Slow and really sloppy. Oh Christ, I hate this attack. It's where he does the vast majority of his damage. Luckily, I'm well stocked because I hit that merchant up before coming here. I shudder to think how bad this would go if I had not stocked up. And this is just the flow of this boss. This is just how this boss goes. Like, you go in here and you take a ton of damage, and you just deal with it. And hope. Hope you can kill him before he wins a war of attrition against you. And by God, is he trying to win. Like, he's trying hard to win that war of attrition. I have too many herbs, though, and too many herbal liquids. And it's not even really worth popping mushrooms to get my MP back, because I can't cast. It's not really worth using, what do they call it, forest roots to cure status anomalies, because they just pile up so quickly. It's a lot of bad shit. Oh! I think that's it. Yeah! Oh, thank God that boss is over. Okay. Now, it's worth using some mushrooms, since we can go back to casting finally. And nothing else really comes of this room. Like, you kill him and you don't really get much for doing so, except you unseal that door. Bright blue door. Oh yeah. Remember these? The Binding Crowns and the Guardians that we haven't seen in a little while? So we're gonna get some action in with those shortly. Let's see, I think this room is full of inscriptions on the wall. Yeah. So let's start from the door and work our way around clockwise. The name of the wise sage ends here. The name of wise sage ends here. I can't believe the hand of darkness has reached this far. The guardians I created powerless before them? Why did our king leave us? Where did he go? The darkness can't reach the outside world. If we can seal it in the city, our only hope is Lord Mew. Varialeum Lois. Freeze the city to keep out the chaos. Or to keep the chaos from spreading outside of Aleum Lois. The door has been sealed. We can never escape. The stones to the drawbridge for the center tower have been removed. The cutoff route won't be easy to climb. There's nothing I can do. The inscriptions always blend into the muddy textures on the wall so much. My utmost treasure I leave in this land. You shall penetrate the thin hole with a single blow. The device will not be solved by one that relies upon magic only. Giving you a hint about something to do in an upcoming room. Why was the forbidden door open? To release the dark folk within? A foolish child. The dark folk. We've heard tell of the forest folk, and the things left by the king shall be surrounded by my guardians. I set all my guardians free. Did my disciples ever reach their destination? Who will meet the guardians outside of the gate? I will. I'll meet those guardians. And then right across from this room, there's another that looks almost like a featureless cube. With the only major standout feature being the teleportation glyph. But somewhere, right here, there's a hole in the wall that's a little bit hard to distinguish. But there was a hint in the previous room about a hole being punctured by light or something like that, and it won't be penetrated by someone who uses magic, so the hint there is to fire an arrow through the hole. For some reason, we don't know what it's going to do, but there's reason to believe it'll do something. If we can line the arrow up properly, without wasting all my arrows. I think you actually have to get it so the arrow kind of arcs. Because I think I'm hitting the top of that hole a little bit too much. This is really, really finicky. Hey, we got it. If you hit the right spot, then a set of stairs collapses from the ceiling. Get that crystalline blade and my kite shield back on. My good kite shield. And up in this chest is a weapon that we're probably not going to get a whole lot of use from, to be honest. That is a giant two-handed maul called the Earthquake. Very slow stamina recharge, very slow swing speed. We're going to go ahead and get the bow back on because I forgot there's a couple of guardians that we have to kill. We're just going to leave that on for a while as well. So this guardian, remember, if they hit you, they do a lot of damage, but they don't path far. Like, that's as far as they will go. Sentinels to a fault. They will guard that one spot, but never move from it. And there is something very, 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 very useful that he was guarding that it's a good thing that we activated him and killed him. That necklace that we got is called the Water Talisman, and it dramatically increases the amount of time that you can breathe underwater. So we will use the one release rock we got earlier, and remember we picked up a second release rock, which we will need to use just upstairs here. So it's a good thing that we did all of those things that we did in the order that we did them. because otherwise we would get here and not have enough keys to lower the bridge. And lowering the bridge gives us access to both a little bit more of the upstairs and the downstairs as well, because the bridge was also acting as a doorway that was blocked off. So we see down into the bottom floor, and it is infested with guardians. Guardians that we cannot deal with just by shooting them. Even if you clear the whole room, what's currently in there, more will spawn in. So instead, we have to find a different solution, which is upstairs here. And if you got this far without holding on to your binding grounds from the first Guardian section, you're kind of screwed. Because you need at least 2 crowns. So you need to have at least 1 from before. And that is a big, super heavy tower shield. You need to bring at least 1 of the old binding crowns with you, and then use the one from the room below, if you don't have another. And those 2 binding crowns will deactivate all the golems. They will all retreat into this little alcove in the wall that they spawn out of. And it takes them a while to retreat back into the alcove, but as long as you have the binding crowns on the 2 pedestals upstairs, you can still walk through the room, and even the ones that are still in there waiting to go back into their hole, they won't attack you. Yeah, like he's just waiting around. Not quite dormant yet, but non-hostile. And the reason that we did all of that work is to open this chest with this key. This key is the engineering key. I think that's the 4th one out of that set of keys. Can't actually remember how you check your keys in this. Equipment? No, not quite. It's somewhere. I don't remember where it is, but yeah, trust me, that's the engineer's key. Which we can take way, way back now to the Wellspring Forest. But there was also a chest earlier on before we got to the cave with the NPC in it. So we're going to backtrack a little bit to him. Ah, yeah. Big blue cobalt door. And was this the boss room, or is the boss room on the left? Ah, okay. Good. This is not the, I went the right way. Was worried that I didn't. Oh, shit. Hold on. Yeah, okay. I get some of these doors mixed up. Yeah, okay, I need to go through you guys. Let's see, fireball you, and yeah, I'll be out of range from the other one. Good. Oh no, I thought the door was over here. Shit, I'm kind of forgetting where I need to go. Yeah, they have more range than it looks like, because the pieces of armor aren't contiguous. So they can kind of magically stretch them out at you. Right, it's up here and right outside. It's like right across from this glyph, I think. Yeah, okay, cool. I don't particularly remember. Oh, it's just another keystone. It's always super like unexciting when you find these. Even though they're pretty handy, you get a pretty big surplus of keystones. Now that we've done that, we've been going for a little while, so I'm going to cap this one off here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.